Vance's visit on one level was utterly absurd. First of all, his wife, the second lady of the United States, announced that she was going to watch the annual dog sled race. She, in the end, didn't do that because they sent out American officials to go and try and find Greenlanders, Greenland businesses, Greenland people who would meet her. Nobody wanted to be seen with her. Vance then did this truly absurd sort of social media post saying,
I didn't want her to have all that fun by herself, and so I'm going to join her.
And he spent 3 hours at the last remaining US military base on Greenland and basically carried on talking this utter nonsense that he's been talking about, why Denmark has failed Greenland, Greenland needs America, Greenland people want America.
What might begin as a bit of something that somebody thinks is a wild tweet becomes more serious when he says it again and again, becomes even more serious when Denmark, Greenland's part of Denmark, says they don't want the US vice president to visit, and he visits anyway with Waltz, the national security advisor, and then gives a speech attacking Denmark on Danish soil and begins to lay out basically the arguments for annexation. So I watched quite carefully this sort of hour and 20 minutes of Vance speaking in the Thule airbase with Waltz and others stepping up. And what he keeps saying is that Denmark has failed to protect the security of Greenland and that Russia and China are threats. And implicitly, therefore, the United States needs to step in. You feel that this is a sort of Goebbels propaganda, that he's laying the ground now for what the eventual argument could be if they decide to annex it. They're beginning to roll the pitch, prepare the argument. Of course, the irony of the whole thing is that he's saying that the sovereignty of Greenland is threatened, the people of Greenland are threatened, the land of Greenland is threatened. But in reality, the threat is not coming from Russia or China. It's coming from the United States itself. It's coming from Vance and Trump.